Okay, this is a review. There will be 35 answers that you'll need to know. They'll be worth 2 points apiece, so this quiz tomorrow will be worth 70. Okay, so here we go. We'll start right out here with Morgan. On June 25th, 1876, Lieutenant Colonel Custer and Major Reno marched towards blank en route to the Little Bighorn Valley. Marched towards what? Shh.
What?
You sound me.
March where?
On June 25th, 1876, Lieutenant Colonel Custer and Major Reno marched towards blank en route to the Little Bighorn River Valley. Ash Creek. At approximately 2 p.m., the regiment came upon the blank, a ceremonial lodge for a warrior killed during the Battle of the Rosebud. Lone Teepee. You can spell it T-E-P-E-E or T-I-P-I. I don't care. Okay? Because of their spiritual beliefs about spiritual burial grounds, Custer's scouts would travel no further. An angry Lieutenant Colonel Custer shouted for the scouts to move forward, or what quote?
Or I will take your guns and horses and make women out of you.
Very good. Or I will take your guns and horses and make women out of you.
Did Sarah move forward around
To move forward, or, quote, I will take your guns and horses and make a woman out of you. One of the scouts, in native tongue, made a comment back to Custer. Custer then asked who, a civilian interpreter for the Indian scouts, to tell him what the Indian scout had said. Fred Gerard. The interpreter informed Custer. The scout told him that if he made a woman of all of his soldiers that were scared, it would take him a long time to do so. At this point, who spotted a group of Indians fleeing towards the Little Bighorn River, Chance? Fred Gerard. And riding to the top of the small knoll, he called out what to Custer? He called out to Custer what quote, Anna?
There, General, your Indians are running like the devil.
Okay,
Close.
is that there? Anybody got it?
General, are your hostiles running like
There are, yes.
Let's make sure we have it. Okay, I want to make sure I have it exactly right. He said, there, General, are your Indians, running like the devil. There, General, are your Indians, running like the devil.
Oh, so close.
After spotting the fleeing Indians, Custer then sent Lieutenant Hu to Major Marcus Reno with the following order. General Custer directs that you take as fast a gait as you deem prudent and charge afterward, and you will be supported by the whole outfit. Who did he send with that message? Back to Marcus Reno.
W.W.
Very good. W.W. Cook. Very good. So after spotting the fleeing Indians, Custer then sent Lieutenant W.W. Cook to Major Marcus Reno with the following order. General Custer directs that you take as fast a gait as you deem prudent and charge afterward, and you will be supported by the whole outfit. Custer then let blank off the hook by ordering him to go with Reno away from the Lone Teepee. Mauricio?
Bloody Knife?
Bloody Knife. Very good. He appreciated the gesture and stated to Custer what? Quote. Wait.
I don't think I have that quote.
Okay, anybody have it?
Today, you and I go home on a road we don't know.
Go down.
Okay, today you and I go home on a road we do not know. Today you and I go home on a road we do not know. Most of the Indian scouts went with Reno. However, Mitch Boyer and notable Indian scout Who stayed with Custer?
Curly?
Curly. Very good. The 7th Cavalry then departed from the Lone Teepee, where Lieutenant Colonel Custer split from Major Reno over a ridge turning north. Major Reno then crossed the Little Bighorn River and stopped and gathered his troops. For the next how long did Major Reno and his command adjust their cinches, check their equipment, guns, and ammunition, Hannah? 15 to 20 minutes. You can have any number between 15 and 20. You can have 17, 18, 19, 20, or 15 or 16.
16 minutes and 30 seconds.
Yeah. Okay? Custer did not cross the Little Bighorn River. Instead, he advanced along the bluffs overlooking the river, waiting for Reno to engage the hostiles. Captain Who Josh, marched southeast as ordered by Custer to protect the left flank?
Benteen.
Captain Benteen, very good. Finally, after seeing no Indians, the captain considered the march a what? Quote. Ben? A wild goose chase. And made the decision to find Custer. He chose to wait for the pack train to catch up to his regiment, which was how many miles behind his regiment? Shh. Wait. 2. The pack train had approached a creek of swampland, and the mules, very thirsty, became uncontrollable and headed straight for water. Because each of the 12 mules carried 1,000 round ammunition boxes that totaled over how many pounds, the animals became bogged down the swampland? 2,000. Very good. After organizing his troops, Reno led a charge at the Indian village located on the Little Bighorn River. Major Reno then ordered his men to form a skirmish line with each man how many feet apart? Santos?
15 feet.
15. Very good. 15 feet apart. Every fourth man had what responsibility, Caleb?
Second.
What?
Say the question again.
Every fourth man in the skirmish line had the responsibility of what?
Holding a horse.
Holding horses. Not just one. Horses. Okay? Had the responsibility of holding horses. During the initial charge toward the Indian village, privates who and who lost control of their horses?
George Smith and Henry Turley.
Very good. Privates George Smith and Henry Turley lost control of their horses. This resulted in the two soldiers riding their horses directly into the Indian camp, resulting in their immediate deaths. After sharp fighting for approximately 15 minutes, Reno's forces were receiving severe pressure from their left flank from Chief Who and his warriors. Isabella? Chief Gall. As a result, Major Reno ordered a 45-degree oblique turn to his left and formed a second skirmish line closer to the river. Okay, Chloe, Lieutenant Who and Company G were protecting Reno's command on the right flank. Donald McIntosh, very good. Company G were fighting Sioux and Cheyenne warriors and were being heavily hit by both the Indian assault and a grass fire that had been started to hinder the soldiers' position. Major Reno's and Companies A and M were taking heavy fire as the skirmish line moved closer and closer to the Little Bighorn River. Reno stopped with his men at a lone tree approximately halfway between the second line and the river. As he was asking advice and opinions, suddenly Who was shot in the head and his brains and blood splattered all over Reno's face, Chance. Bloody knife. Reno then panicked, ordered the command to mount and dismount how many different times, Anna? 3, before asking his men to follow him on a charge, which was really a retreat, back across the Little Bighorn River to higher ground. Christina, Lieutenant Who and Company G were furiously trying to hold their position to no avail, so they hastily retreated in the direction of Reno. Donald McIntosh. During this attempt, the lieutenant was killed. The remainder of the retreat was mass confusion and chaos, as Reno's men fought furiously to retreat back across the Little Bighorn River to the higher bluffs. What lieutenant was later quoted as saying, Mauricio, when we came out of the woods, there was a great many Indians scampering along with their rifles across the saddle, working their Winchesters on the column. Who said that?
We don't have, tell us not to write that down.
No, but I didn't tell you to write the quote down, but I need to know who said it. So during this time when they were skedaddling, who said when we came out of the woods there were a great many Indians scampering along with their rifles across the saddle, working their Winchesters on the column? Anybody know?
Wait, it was a soldier?
It was a lieutenant. He went to the
Was it Reynolds?
No, it was Charles Barnum. Charles Barnum was later quoted as saying, when we came out of the woods, there were a great many Indians scampering along with their rifles across the saddle, working their Winchesters on the column. During this exchange with the hostiles, Major Reno lost how many men killed and how many wounded? Wait.
We lost over about half his men, didn't
Well, I
we?
gotta have a number. Anybody got a number?
40 killed.
40 killed. How many? 13 wounded. 40 killed, 13 wounded. The waters of the Little Bighorn River flowed in red, as many soldiers were killed in the river during their attempt to cross. After Reno's retreat across the Little Bighorn River to higher ground, the Indians stopped their assault to pursue Custer and his command near the village. It was late afternoon now, shortly after what time, Wade?
Oh my God.
When the Indians gave up on Reno and etc. and headed to Custer, what time was it?
4 p.m.
4 p.m., very good. Okay, during the Reno charge and retreat, some key personalities were discovered in later years with information about them. During the Reno fight, Guide who stopped near a doctor who was treating a wounded man?
Charlie Reynolds.
Charlie Reynolds stopped near Dr. Who, Anna, who was treating a wounded man? Henry Porter. So I'll repeat that. During the Reno fight, Guide Charlie Reynolds stopped near Dr. Henry Porter, who was treating a wounded man. The guide tried to get the military doctor to begin the retreat to the bluffs, but the doctor refused to leave the wounded man. Finally, the guide convinced the doctor to retreat to the higher ground, in which the doctor successfully made it to the top of the bluffs across the Little Bighorn River. The guide was killed in his efforts. So Josh, why was the guide considered a hero of the Reno charge and retreat?
Because he got the doctor to retreat, and the doctor saved a lot of people.
Saved a lot of people's lives. That's exactly right. So the answer to that would be the guide worked hard to get Dr. Porter up to the bluffs, where in turn Dr. Porter saved a lot of soldiers' lives who were wounded, which made Reynolds the hero. Okay? The only black soldier in the 7th Cavalry was who, Ben?
Isaiah Dorman.
Isaiah Dorman. He was an interpreter and was paid how much a month, Wade, compared to the $13 a soldier got? How much a month did Isaiah Dorman make? About 5 times that. More than 5 times that. It's not quite 6. 80?
75.
$75 per month compared to a soldier who was making $13 a month. The soldier was married to a Sioux woman and was known by Sitting Bull. He had his horse shot out from underneath him during the Reno fight and was soon trapped by hostiles. He was badly tortured to death and found with many arrows shot into his body and head. In addition, he was badly slashed blank, and his genitals were staked to the ground with a horse stake. What was the second thing that happened to him, Garrett?
Shot in the legs with buckshot.
Shot in the legs with buckshot. So he was badly slashed, shot in the legs with buckshot, and his genitals were staked to the ground with a horse stake. Whoa! It's just a stake that, like when you go hunting elk, don't you stake your horses down so they don't run off? Okay, well, it's a stake about this long and about that big around that was in the middle of your genitals, which would not be good. Okay, Santos, what was placed on Dorman's chest half full of blood? What kind? You're right, but what kind? There's lots of different. A U.S. Army cup. Make sure you put that. A U.S. Army cup was placed on his chest, half full of blood, and he was badly mutilated. Also among the casualties of the Reno retreat was a farrier's horse. The horse belonged to another casualty of the Valley fight. Who the horse belonged to? John Severson. The horse was discovered in the late 1990s by archaeologists. The horse was exhumed completely, being equipped with a saddle, bridle, saddlebags, and farrier tools with the initials what engraved on them?
JS.
JS. There's your test. Quiz. Okay, there are 35 answers, I think, or 25.
What is it
No,
going
there's
to be?
35 ansers, so we were 70.
It's going to be fill in the choice.
Did we just...
Oh, I was like, we fill in the blank or multiple choice.
I feel like we should take it as a class like we did that one time.
Yeah. You are going to need last name spelled correctly. I'm not accepting any crap tomorrow. If it's not correctly spelled, you will get it wrong. So you better study up. Okay? Do not mess it up.
You can't spell name wrong?
You cannot spell the name wrong.
Oh my God.
If you do, they will be wrong. So take some time to